Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name's Braden Timmons, and welcome back to the series, The Film We Almost Got. This time around, we are talking about Halloween 4. If you guys have been around this channel for a little while, you guys know that I literally did The Film We Almost Got earlier this year, talking about the Halloween Return script. I had an absolute blast reading through it and talking about it. That was actually the second or third time I had a chance to read the Halloween Return script, and I love the Halloween Returns one. Halloween 4, this is going to be a little interesting for me because I personally love Halloween 4 as a sequel in the Halloween franchise. It's one of my favorite sequels, actually. I'd say it's within my top 4 Halloween movies. It's definitely a really solid Halloween sequel, minus the fact that obviously the mask doesn't look all that great. I do have a very fun time watching Halloween 4. The atmosphere of Halloween, Michael Myers, he's fine for what he is and stuff like that, but I just think that it is a very fun movie and a very fun Halloween sequel. I love Halloween 4, and this one that we're going to be talking about today, I haven't read the entire script yet. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the Return series I did earlier this year because I had actually read the script before. That was just kind of me reading through it again, kind of refreshing more of what I had read the first time when I read the Halloween Return script. This time around, I have never read the Halloween 4 script. This is my first read through, so from week to week, this is part 1. I have no idea how long this series is going to be. I normally try and keep it between 4 and maybe 5 parts tops, but that's really about it. I will not go over 5 parts, especially because this script, I believe, is only about 88 pages maybe. I could be wrong on that because there's a couple other scripts I was looking at earlier, Halloween related, but I believe that this one comes in around like 88 pages. This script is written by Dennis Etchison, and he was actually recommended by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill to pen a draft for Halloween 4. And I'm just going to read the synopsis here from Reddit because there are so many of these things that I just want you guys to know exactly what it is we're going to be talking about. The synopsis revolves around Tommy and Lindsay along with other returning characters like Gary Hunt and Brackett years after the original massacre. It has lots of supernatural and psychological elements, including a Michael Myers who can grow in size. And if you guys are familiar with that description, you guys may have seen my video from earlier this year where I discussed every single canceled treatment script idea that there ever was in terms of Halloween. This series is simply just breaking those scripts down into an entire story, what they would have been, the film that we almost got. And I'm really excited to be here to talk about this, guys, because I've only read like the first 15 pages of this script, of the Dennis Etchison Halloween 4 script, and I have to say, it's interesting so far. I'm very curious to see where this story is going to go. The Michael Myers that grows in size thing is definitely something that I'm not a fan of. And I mean, to be fair, I'm probably going to be a little harsher on this one than I was with Returns because Returns is the sequel that I actually really wanted to get. I do believe that that would have been the right way to bring back Halloween to a brand new generation of audiences for the franchise. I think that it was a really fresh start. This one is going to be difficult because I really like Halloween 4. And just like I said, the whole Michael Myers growing in size, I don't know too much about where the story is going to go, but just from the beginning of what I read, it takes place, it opens on Halloween night from 1978. We see Lindsay Wallace's parents leaving a Halloween party. They're on their way home and they see police officers. They're driving to their house and everything like that. And they pull up and there's a bloodbath in the Wallace house. Obviously that representing the fact that Annie was killed within their house while they were gone at a Halloween party. Mrs. Wallace gets out. She runs through and everything like that, says that her daughter's in there, says that it's her house, whatever she needs to say to get through these paramedics and whatnot. But ultimately, Mrs. Wallace, she gets inside and it's pretty much a bloodbath everywhere, guys. She touches a lamp, she pulls her hand away and there's blood all over it. And then it really seems like that the room is just kind of collapsing in size. It's getting smaller and smaller. On top of the stairs, there's a little girl. She's holding a butcher knife. It's got blood on it, which obviously made the final cut of Halloween 4. That's the same shot of what was at the the end of Halloween 4, the movie that we actually have, the one that was released in 1988, of Jamie standing on the top of the stairs with the butcher knife in her hand. I do think that that's actually really cool that they incorporated that in the final cut, kind of hinting that that was an original idea for this script. Ultimately, guys, then the little girl literally cuts in half, like splits in half, and then the shape literally stands up. And there's Michael Myers. And then boom, we find out it was a dream sequence. Now, that's not to say that the entire Halloween party thing, that the Wallaces coming home and finding what they found when they got home from the party didn't happen, but everything from when Mrs. Wallace got inside the house was indeed a dream sequence. And I don't really necessarily like when movies open with a dream sequence, like Halloween H2O, for example. You have your whole opening, and then you have the sequence from the first person POV of Michael maybe walking through Hillcrest Academy, and then it cuts to Laurie Strode waking up in the morning. Like that, I can swallow. I don't necessarily like when movies open with just a dream sequence. But anyway, we open up and we find out that Mrs. Wallace is really not the nicest person. I'm really not a fan of her in this script right now. I think that she has a lot of issues. Even though this script takes place years after the events of that night, it seems like that it still has really impacted Mrs. Wallace, and even Mr. Wallace is kind of suffering as a husband because of it, because his wife is just kind of a bitch. And he is actually trying to care about where she is at mentally, and it doesn't seem like she's nudging. She doesn't seem like that she wants him to be there for her when she's going through all of this, and we can see that she is very Dr. Loomisy within this story because she hates Halloween. She hates this time of year, and it's simply because of everything that she saw and what she experienced on that night in 1978. Lindsay and Tommy are both teenagers, and we also know from the very beginning that she does not like Tommy Doyle at all. Lindsay is trying to be friends with him. Tommy actually calls the house and he asks to speak to Lindsay on the morning of Halloween, and she literally tells him to not call this house again. She is not a very big fan of Tommy Doyle. I have no idea as to why. Very curious as to see why, because again, guys, this is the first time I'm reading this script. So in terms of so far, because that's pretty much the first 15 pages, you literally have like the opening, and then you have them introducing Mrs. Wallace, Mr. Wallace, Lindsay. We see a little bit of Tommy, and then Gary Hunt is also within this script as well. Gary Hunt and Sheriff Brackett are going to be in this script as well. Really curious to see where all of this leads to for next week, because I didn't have a whole lot of time this week, guys, to get as much information as I wanted about it, but I hope to continue this conversation next week. So with all that being said, post your guys' comments down below. Let me know, what do you guys think of the Halloween 4 script that we almost got? Have you guys had a chance to read it? If you guys haven't, highly recommend it. I will leave the Reddit link down below that has most of the scripts and stuff like that I will be covering over the course of the next probably couple months on Myers Monday, unless of course we have a Halloween Kills update to talk about. So leave your guys' comments in the comment section. I'd absolutely love to read them, and as always, if you guys like this, don't forget to join me on my journey to 5,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys in my next video.